If you've been keeping up with my journey into the world of meal delivery services, you know that I'm doing my best to try and figure out who the winners and losers are when it comes to meal delivery services. And for the past 2 months or so, I've been experimenting with Factor75. And so far, I've had an excellent experience. I gave it about 2 months of using Factor before making this review so that I have enough time and experience to get to know what Factor is all about and see if it really lived up to all the hype. And in this video, I'm going to try and give you a full picture of Factor75, their flavors, ingredient quality, compatibility with special diets, pricing model, and some things that make Factor stand out compared to other services in the space. And to be completely transparent, I'll also explore some limitations and challenges that I've faced with Factor. And at the very end of the video, I'll let you know whether I recommend them or not. So to kick things off, for those of you who might not be totally familiar, Factor75, or just Factor as they go by now, is a meal delivery service with a strong emphasis on health and well-being. They work with dietitians and chefs to deliver a wide range of meal options that taste good and aim to be nutritionally balanced. And something that really sets them apart is their commitment to using organic ingredients wherever possible. So you won't have to worry about GMOs, hormones, or preservatives. But we'll get to that later on. I also think that they particularly stand out because their meals arrive completely pre-cooked and just need to be heated up in the microwave or oven, which we'll also explore in detail a bit later on. And just to put it out there, when I signed on, I managed to find a special link for Factor75, which automatically applied a discount that I wouldn't have been able to get had I gone straight to their website. So if at any point you decide that you want to try them out, I'll leave that link in the description down below. Now, in terms of quality ingredients, they really shine. While some meal delivery services call themselves healthy, they often cut corners when it comes to being organic. But Factor75 understands that eating organic is part of a healthy diet, and they want to ensure that their customers are not putting any GMOs, hormones, preservatives, or refined sugars into their bodies. Now, I hope that I'm not painting the picture that everything about Factor75 is perfect. Like any other product or service, they have limitations. For instance, I wish they'd also opt for wild-caught salmon as opposed to the farm salmon they use for their recipes. It's a small issue, but I think that it's worth mentioning on account of their organic approach. But on the flip side, their meats are sourced from grass-fed, pasture-raised animals, and their poultry options are also raised humanely, which is a major win in my book. Alright, so you've signed up and received your first Factor box. What's next? Well, all the meals come in ready to heat and eat plastic containers with the plastic film sealing them. So all you have to do to prepare your meal is pierce the protective film covering and throw it in the microwave on high for about 2 to 3 minutes. Or if you have a bit of extra time, you can take off the film top and bake it in the oven for around 5 to 10 minutes or so once the oven's heated up. But just keep in mind that some meals come with sauce containers, which should of course be taken out before heating both in the microwave and in the oven. And if you have the time, I always recommend using an oven rather than a microwave whenever possible. I think that an oven does a much better job evenly heating and maintaining flavor than a microwave does, but this isn't just true for Factor meals. I prefer using an oven across the board. Okay, so in terms of flavor, you'd think that meals delivered to your door might be bland, but I was actually really surprised that from the first bite, it's pretty clear that Factor puts a ton of thought into their meals. They're rich and really flavorful. They also have a lot of different options when it comes to cuisines, and there are even meal plans that are vegetarian and keto friendly. The range of flavors, cuisines, and options is actually really impressive. For instance, the chicken parmesan was crunchy, the cheese was melted nicely, and the tomato sauce wasn't too sour or sweet, striking a sort of harmonious balance that just worked for me. And the beef chili was spicy and it had a hearty and thick texture that tasted really good and sort of warmed me up when I ate it. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about diet compatibility. They offer options ranging from keto to paleo and even vegetarian. It seems like they're trying to cater to everyone. So if you're following a specific diet like the Mediterranean diet or a high protein regimen, you can generally be accommodated pretty easily. And in terms of knowing what goes into your body, their nutrition labeling is detailed and easy to understand. Caloric intake, macronutrient ratios, and even ingredient lists are right there on each package, leaving no room for doubt about what you're actually putting into your body. And for those of you health nuts out there like myself, this really makes all the difference when it comes to our diets. Now, a very significant consideration when deciding on a meal kit service is, of course, pricing. And Factor offers several pricing models that depend on how many meals you want to receive per week. If you go with a minimum of 6 meals per week, you'd be looking at a cost at about $13.50 per meal. And if you want more meals or if you want to save some more money, the meals get as low as $11 per meal if you order 18 per week. Because as with most services or products, the more you order, the lower the per meal cost, which adds a degree of flexibility based on your lifestyle and needs. Of course, if you don't want that many meals per week, I'd still recommend perhaps going in with a friend or something like that, because over the long run, ordering more meals per week will lower the cost pretty significantly. On the other hand, it's important to understand that Factor does fall on the pricier side of the spectrum, mainly due to their insistence on using organic, high-quality ingredients and the fact that their meals come pre-cooked and ready to heat and eat. But in my experience with a lot of different meal kits, the cost is justified because we aren't talking about fast food here. It's well thought out, tasty, nutritionally balanced meals that are designed with health and convenience in mind. But if you want to save a bit more money, as I mentioned earlier, if you do decide to give Factor a try, I left that discounted link that I used when I signed up in the description below. And with it, you'll automatically get a discount that you wouldn't be able to get by going straight to their website. So feel free to take advantage of that as well. Now, on to the customer service experience. They offer live chat, email, and phone support. And in my experience, their customer service agents were attentive, responsive, and accommodating. I know this because one time, one of the meals arrived damaged, and some of the ingredients and sauce spilled onto some of the other meals that were in the box. It made the outside of the other meal sticky, and of course I had to throw out what was left of that one. So I reached out to customer service, and they not only issued a full refund, but also gave me a discount on my next order, which I was really happy with. But it is worth mentioning that some people do report having issues with customer service, and in the research that I did before signing up with them, a lot of the negative feedback that I saw focused on customer service issues. Things like difficulty resolving concerns about credit card charges or getting refunds when there were issues. But personally, like I mentioned before, I've had a good experience. And for those of you who are environmentally conscious, they put a strong emphasis on sustainability, both in sourcing their ingredients and in their packaging. The meals come in recyclable packaging, which is a huge plus for those concerned about the environment. Each meal was insulated nicely and was fresh when I unpacked the box, but what really impressed me was the care they took with the packaging. There were ice packs to keep the food cold, and the box was sturdy enough to prevent any damage during delivery. They also take an eco-friendly approach to their overall operations. For example, they work with farmers who specifically use sustainable farming practices, and they strive to source locally whenever possible, which reduces their overall carbon footprint. And when it comes to delivery, they've been nothing short of reliable and punctual. The meals consistently arrived when they said they would, which is critical for many people like myself who are really too busy to deal with unexpected delays. Their website is user-friendly and easy to navigate, and this is coming from someone who is by no means tech-savvy. From choosing meals to setting dietary preferences and payment options, the entire process is really straightforward. They even offer an app which I think is extremely convenient for making changes to my orders or looking for new meals. To sum it up, Factor offers an experience that's kind of hard to beat. They combine really tasty and flavorful meals with health-conscious meal planning, flexibility, and a commitment to sustainability. And while it may be on the higher end of the price spectrum, and some people have had difficulty with customer service, the quality of the meals and the convenience they offer make it, in my opinion, well worth the investment for a lot of people. And if you ask me, I would personally recommend Factor to anyone who values taste, nutrition, and sustainability. Whether you're a busy professional, you're health conscious, or you're just looking to simplify meal planning in general, Factor75 has options that cater to just about everyone. Alright, so there you have it, a comprehensive review of the Factor75 meal delivery service. I hope this review answered all your questions and helped you make an informed decision about whether they're the right fit for you or not. And that's going to be it for today. I really hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, hit the like button and subscribe for more. And like I mentioned before, if you want to try Factor out, check out the link in the description to get that discount that I mentioned that you wouldn't be able to get if you went straight to their website. Also, feel free to leave any questions in the comments below, and I'll do my best to try and answer them as quickly as I can, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.